All right, let's go ahead and pivot now to Washington, where the Justice Department charged hundreds of defendants with healthcare fraud worth $6.5 billion. And Alex Mallin covers all things DOJ for us, and he's following this. All right, Alex, so let's start with what this healthcare fraud is all about. What exactly is the DOJ cracking down on?
Yeah, I mean, Gio, we know how much money goes into the medical industry. If you take a visit to the doctor yourself or you take a family member, you get these bills back, and the costs can be absolutely astronomical. What we're talking about, though, here is fraud, and specifically the Justice Department trying to root it out in terms of Medicare fraud and Medicaid fraud, the payments that come from the federal government to reimburse doctors or providers of medical care for either seniors or lower income people. And they announced a series of these charges yesterday in cases that date back several months, some of which are not at all related, but they do cobble them together in these so-called national healthcare fraud takedowns. And that's what was announced yesterday to the tune of about $6.5 billion, the Justice Department says, in a series of these cases, largely relating to providers or doctors making fraudulent claims, saying that basically, I want this money from the federal government to reimburse me for either care for a person that I may have cared for or a medical device that I ask to be reimbursed for. And what the Justice Department says is that often these cases are rife with fraud, people making claims for people who don't either exist or did not even have to have the treatment that the doctors supposedly prescribed. And that's the cases that we heard from yesterday from the Justice Department, Gio.
And people have been doing this for years. I was covering this down in Miami 15 years ago, so it is definitely an issue. 455 people involved in this alleged fraud scheme. Tell us, what do we know about them?
Yeah, we know that at least 90 of them are actually doctors or medical care providers. These are people who took the Hippocratic Oath and allegedly, according to these prosecutors, violated it. Now, the other hundreds of people are people who either fraudulently posed as doctors or just in other ways tried to game the system in order to try and collect these federal dollars. Now, we heard from officials at the Justice Department yesterday at a press conference that they are really trying to tighten regulations so that these dollars that do go out, they're caught before they are actually sent out the door. We heard from Dr. Mehmet Oz, the CMS administrator. He says that they are really focusing on the administration trying to work with Congress to tighten control so that they don't have to go out and prosecute these cases. They can detect fraud before this happens.
Alex, people are also searching for the largest Medicaid fraud cases. Why do you think people are looking at that right now?
Yeah, I was intrigued by that, Gio, because one of the things is this is actually an announcement that takes place every year here at the Justice Department, dating back multiple administrations. And one of the things that I was really intrigued by is that it doesn't get a lot of the coverage that administrations want. So when I saw that people are searching out the specific cases involving fraud, that shows that this was actually a savvy move by the Justice Department. Their social media team must have been on top of their game, because now it did generate a lot of the interest that we're seeing in terms of those searches. I think that they did this, though, by highlighting the ways that people profited and often the lavish gifts that they enriched themselves with. They highlighted something like an $865,000 Bulgari necklace that one defendant allegedly purchased with these fraudulent funds. They also had Bulgaris, Ferraris, Maserati cars, a yacht that was seized in Chicago as a result of these funds. I think that providing those pictures, showing the public where their money is actually going in some of these cases really definitely piques search interest.
And just listing those buys and those purchases clearly shows how much money we're talking about. Alex Mallin, thank you so much. Appreciate you.